Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. Today we're gonna do like a unit showcase and review. Many of you guys have watched my GVG videos and kind of noticed like, hey, F Maya is like kind of always there, and some people are asking me on YouTube, hey, can I see your F Maya gear or stats? You know, maybe you've got her, or maybe you just pulled her, and you're wondering, hey, you know, how can I make it really effective? I'm gonna talk about like her usage and her builds, and I'll show you guys my stats after I do a couple runs of arena. A couple guys on in the arena, just because I like kind of woke up, they've kind of like, you know, attacked me, and I'm gonna revenge mode on them, right? So it's kind of weird that this guy has ML Araminta, but he's not using it on the ML Araminta team, which is kind of fine. So in this fight here, actually let me go back. In this fight here, I don't see much problem. Actually, I'm gonna swap in SS Acades is gonna be kind of annoying to fight, to be honest. I might actually, I should be okay. So basically, what F Maya is really good at doing is AI bait. AI bait when you are controlling the team, so on an attacking team. Now I did a couple days ago, I actually did a video on this, and I chose teams that weren't really suited for F Maya to be in it. So this one is like perfect because we got like pretty much single target damage dealers, and Spectre Tenebria is super strong. I'm not quite sure. I've actually haven't fought casual mode yet, so I don't know how strong his Spectre Tenebria is. But you know, to be honest, I think if I wanted to win this one for sure, I think I should put Bologna with a Bloodstone on. But basically F Maya, because if you guys know how the AI works, they generally attack the elemental advantage. So Dark has elemental advantage to Light and vice versa. So F Maya is really good at taking the bait, because she can self buff. I'm gonna talk about her kit in a bit, but you guys will kind of see how this works. I've chosen a team where all the elements on the whole entire team is either neutral or strong against light. All right, that's very important to keep in mind. So in this, if this fight works out, Spectre Tenebria will keep nuking Maya. The healers will do their heal thing. You know, DN will do hers on rotation, doesn't matter. SS Acades will, or Acates, doesn't matter how you pronounce it, will do her healing when it's needed. And of course, Spectre Tenebria, you can never attack her until until everyone else is dead because of her new buff. So my plan, of course, going into this is gonna try to take out the Reviver. So either DN first because of her anti-crit buff, or SS Acades. And if this goes according to plan, if F Maya's health is the lowest, every single one of the heroes on the right from casual mode will be attacking F Maya. And my DN is supposed to buff and sustain the whole battle. Alright, so I'm going to try this out. If I went with Bologna instead of Baiken, with Bloodstone, I get another heal, and I also get defense breaks, which is kind of nice to have. But in this case, I kind of want to use Baiken as well because she's new. So I'm going to go in right now, and we're going to see that play out, alright? So they all have a immunity set, which for Bologna on first turn, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to buff up a DN here. Hey Terror, welcome.
I'll protect you.
That's kind of interesting. See, I'm putting up the buff first. I guess it's just to prevent people cleaving Spectre Tenebria here.
Melt away.
And I didn't even proc my defense buff. There you go. Now defense buff is up. All right. So I'm actually gonna heal.
Please save us. Give me strength.
So Spectre Tenebria, of course, is a very strong single target nuker. As you can see, that actually did a lot of damage because my F Maya actually has a lot of HP. I'm actually gonna not use her S2 and S3 yet. Oh, I got an Arnell, so I will do it. No bleeds, of course, as you can see here. I'm gonna burn the S3, and I think we'll kill her off right now. Oh, RNL again. Wow, wow, wow. This is beautiful. So we killed off the reviver, so that's really good. But as you can see, F Maya here, you know, slow like a snail, but she's hanging on. So, and then you keep in mind that there was no bleeds because of the immunity, and Baiken did really well. But of course, there's a RNG aspect to that RNL there.
This is what the goddess
Otherwise, SS Acades, I usually kind of like, you know, make her do some heals and then burst her down once all her big heals are gone. But that kind of saved our time. So as you can see, self cleanse and more buffs. Oh, this is perfect. She's left herself open. So the timing is perfect on this one. Oh, there's resistance. Oh, she's high resist. Af. Okay, there's one bleed. I'm gonna buff up again. Again, there should be no problems with this now. You still running Rage, says Tara? Yes, I'm still running Rage right now. Rage set. I'm actually gonna S3 on DN here. Just, you know, we don't need her here. So S3, obviously very awesome. As you can see, that damage there. They gotta fix that Armin bug, man. They gotta fix that Armin bug. Look at that. She looks so stupid, just like stuck. Okay.
I'm on my way. Leave it to me.
I mean, I could use the S3. I mean, just gonna use the S3 right now. I mean, Spectre Tenebria is not gonna be really scary. I mean, yes, she gets stronger every time someone on the map dies, stack up to 5 times. But like, you see, like, because F Maya can keep her defense buffs up, so Spectre Tenebria is not super hard if you have F Maya though. I have to say, unless their team, you know, that supports her around is extremely strong, she's not too tough. So anyways, that played out exactly how I wanted it.
Don't be scared.
So that's it. So yeah, so this again is a showcase of Maya, and then we're gonna get into her stats a bit. I'm just gonna take revenge on a couple of these guys, and I think all of them can be featured with F Maya. This one I'll come back to because I don't think, I mean, in damage wise, this is not gonna do that much actually, to be honest. But I want to take on one that's more straightforward first, so you guys can see. So again, Terra says Spectre Tenebria comp needs 2 healers with idle cheers on both. Ah, I see. Just to keep pushing that damage up. Yeah, so this guy, he's attacked me twice this morning, and he has higher points than me, so this is perfect for revenge. You can see I've already revenged once. Because again, as you know, elemental advantage, like for this one, you definitely you don't want to have Baiken in there because that's a Keiron bait. And so I'm gonna put in Kisei. So right here, what we have is again two heroes. Keiron will not attack ice, all right, unless it's all ice. Then he'll choose one at random, and then work down on the lowest HP. Because F Maya, of course, is right now neutral to Keiron. Keiron's gonna choose her rather, over my ice heroes. Dark Corvus, of course, is dark, so he's gonna choose F Maya no matter what. And then the 2 ice heroes on top there, Angelica and Krau, when they're starting to do damage, they're gonna damage the lowest health opponent. So that's basically how I'm, like, you know, manipulating the AI. So when you guys are watching my GVG videos, a lot of the times, unless the team comp is just incredibly difficult to figure out how to, like, kind of bait the AI, I wouldn't you would probably run a speed team or a sustain team, you know, something like that. But F Maya kind of makes arena and GVG pretty easily. So I'm gonna do this. There's no crit buff, anti-crit buff on DN on this one, and there's a barrier from Angelica, so that's really good for my Kisei to go for Keiron. So I'm gonna go and do this.
I want to retire already.
So if I remember, yeah, I remember the turn rotation on this guy. So Angelica goes first, puts up the immunity. Dark Corvus goes and hits F Maya, which is totally fine because it doesn't matter. So once Dark Corvus goes, Keiron goes, Krau will go. Generally, Krau is kind of annoying if he actually goes first. because what he could do is, if everyone's at max HP, what Crow can do is actually push away Luna, push away Kisei, so it kind of screws up my turn order. But as you can see, with anti-crit buff and F Maya's like self-defense buff, you can see that Kayron barely did any damage, right? If I do a barrier cut down on Kayron right now, it just strikes him into Immortal, gives me another turn for Luna, and I can start attacking Angelica because she's the one you want to take out. You don't want her to just sustain the battle. I don't even need to heal on this one. The next hit that Kayron will do, because he's an Immortal now, he's going to do an S3. It's a single target. Basically, when I'm fighting Kayron teams, I want him to go down to Immortal ASAP, because I don't want him to cleave. So Kayron, if he doesn't miss Ice Heroes, he can still cleave through my Kisei if built properly. I'm actually going to, because Dark Corvus goes next, and then Kayron, I'm actually going to heal. It doesn't matter if F Maya in this point has maximum HP, because she's still the target, right? So I'm going to go and let's hit Angelica down. Oath Key Kayron, says Batsula. Inside joke, inside joke. Oath Key Kayron is apparently the best Kayron. J Derp. Just kidding. It's a joke. So, you know, if people are on YouTube and they hear this, you know, don't comment on it. It's a joke. So she wasted her heal, but I think on the next turn she can already do an S3 again, I think. But
I will guide you through the light.
we should be fine. Basically, all we need to do now is just take down Angelica, and then take out Crow, and then we should be good. Yeah, I'll put up the attack buff right now.
You pitiful beings. Death is your repentance.
This will be the last moon
because of Dark Corvus, I'm gonna just you know, focus on Angelica only. Yeah, she can already have heals.
Ridiculous.
I don't think I can get it enough. I'm gonna do an S3 here. Basically, we have two nukers to deal with right here, and right now, Crow can go for anyone because F Maya's HP is maxed. I'm going to keep my barrier till the next turn in case he provokes like Luna or something.
Leave it to me.
And he's about to do his S3 on the next turn. He can't provoke my DN. Okay.
In the name of the goddess.
So this is good for Kisei's S1 again. Let's see. Lowest HP is DN. I'm gonna heal.
Please save us.
Kind of want more souls in case. I think I should be able to one-shot Angelica right now. Almost. It's okay. I'm gonna save the S3 for Crow. I'm gonna burst him down here so he doesn't get his S3.
This is what the goddess wills. I was waiting. I was born to fight.
It's okay. Just attack again.
Let's advance together.
Put up the attack buff right now.
My goddess, grant me the power to extinguish the evil.
So combine Kisei and Luna should be able to kill him. I have one more turn before I can do an S3, which I will do it on Corvus when I can. Actually, I'm not gonna even use the S3 on Luna here. Don't need it.
I believe.
Okay, I'm gonna heal, and that way it can remove the amount of hits I need to do on Corvus.
I will guide you through the light.
He gets a cooldown every time you attack him, and I think 2 cooldown every time you crit. I'm gonna do an S3. I think he has a Strack Gauntlet, so I might not be able to reduce his CD. Oh, I did. So he's already dead. So you can see that F Maya is really good at like holding you know, the other heroes, you know, taking them away from your DPS or your healers. So like when I was building my Baiken, or my nukers rather, Surmia, Luna, and Baiken, they're all pretty slow. When I was building them, I never really accounted speed because I have F Maya. Now of course that doesn't really work if I'm doing like, you know, 2 rounds of GVG where only 1 F Maya can work. But if you do like a bait tactic, technically your nukers don't have to be super fast. But of course I would never recommend going super slow like me. It's just I'm too lazy to get more speed. it's not a priority to me. So this team is interesting. I think this will be my last fight, and then we're gonna get into the gear. So this is gonna be the last showcase. Let me figure this out. So ML, okay, so let's see, Tamarine, A-Cart. So A-Cart will go for F Maya. If F Maya has the lowest HP, everyone will go for her. Now, of course, we do have Sage Baal here, which he can strip buffs, but because F Maya's defense is really high, so even if he strips her defense buff, and I don't know why, that's a level 52 A-Cart. This guy must have just pulled A-Cart. I'm gonna put in Ken there, and I might keep Luna. I think that be okay. Arguably speaking, like if you wanted to bait, let's say Araminta or you know, Sage Baal, you probably just use your own A-Cart here. But for damage wise, because I don't want the healer to have, like, you know, to sustain the whole team the entire time, so I'm gonna keep Luna in here, I think, for a nuker. If it was like DN or something, I would probably bring in Bike in, but I'll use Luna because she could self-sustain as well. So healing is not that bad. Okay, so let's try this out. I'm gonna go with this team here. And again, the placement of did you end last week in Legends Sister? Nah, I didn't bother. I think I ended at Champ 2. Too many good teams in Legend pushing me down. And I don't refresh. Okay, there's a lot of sleeping, but already you can see that Fighter Maya actually removed her sleep and put up a defense buff because of that hit, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna try to take out the healer first. No, let's take out Sage. Let's see if we can do it.
This is my true will.
Tara's making fun of me. He's like, ooh, look at the big bad dragon. I don't refresh. Oh man.
Don't be scared.
I lost my attack buff on Luna, so I'm not gonna nuke S3 right now.
I will shatter you.
It's actually, that does pretty much the same damage. I knew that I couldn't kill him anyway, but because of that coming, he's gonna get a heal on the next turn, so it's kind of pointless.
Leave it to me.
Let's just attack him, it doesn't matter. We're just kind of waiting it out. Yeah, he does use the Tisa Scepter, so people are pretty annoying, man. So yeah, attack her. Okay.
Go away.
Yep, heal.
I'll knock your teeth out.
So we're gonna kill him off after this. So he already got his 25% CR boost.
I believe.
Because every turn he has his S2. Here comes a strip. Kind of strip my DN. Not all of it though.
Let's have a go around.
It's okay. So as long as you can kill him off, it's fine. So right now, Siarman's of course going after DN because she has the lowest HP. Because that A-Card doesn't do enough damage. So yeah, so that kind of doesn't really showcase F Maya. Okay, now she's the lowest. So she should go after, yeah, he should go after her. Which is fine. I'm gonna do an S3 right now. 1/3 of his health, he's out. Okay.
Go away.
I'm still laughing at Tara's comment. Ooh, I don't refresh. You can totally sense the sarcasm in his voice there. I'm gonna take out Tamarine. I think she's gonna go in idle form on the next turn. I'll try to take her out ASAP. I don't know if I could one-shot her from here. With the C Armin, it's kind of annoying.
I will punish you.
Oh yeah, Betzel's like, yeah boy! S3! Alright. So because Rod of course heals the lowest HP, goes to DN, so now F Maya should be our target most of the time. I'm gonna save a card to the end here. Because C Armin's buffs are really annoying. And her passive. So I'm gonna check her out. Yes, it's a bit slower to do arena this way, but you have like a 99% chance of winning. Unless there's something you're not accounting for. So it's kind of good because when people are attacking me with higher points and I can revenge, then I can get more points back. So it's kind of nice. He got lucky. His evasion was available. I know he's still building a card here, but
I will guide you through the light.
it's okay.
I won't tolerate this.
So yeah, so another thing is like obviously like he does 2 debuffs. But if she can cleanse, she usually cleanses away the defense one. She can self cleanse one debuff per time she's hit. So she usually removes the defense buff one, and she leaves like the stun, which is fine because, you know, as long as she survives, it's okay. He's dead.
I'll knock your teeth out.
I trust
You're
the
picking on this guy
power
because his
of
name is Carbuncle, says Ollie. I don't know. That's a secret. Anyways, you guys kind of get the idea of kind of like how to use F Maya. Of course, it can get more complicated. Sometimes you need to run, like in that case, like I could have ran like my own A cart, baited away C Armin, bait away ML, Sage, Baal, and Cezanne. But because I saw the damage output wasn't really high on that one, so I didn't really think about the dual bait. Otherwise, you could do something like that. Predominantly, if you are in like, you know, higher arena, so let's say champion and above. Well, I mean, even this kind of cascades down all the way to challenger and even below. Like, people are running more and more ML teams. I mean, you can see the ML teams are attacking me light and dark, light and dark, light and dark. I mean, with a few exceptions, but it's all there, you know. So I mean, you kind of do want to consider yourself lucky if you have C Armin or F Maya. Some of the best bait, I think, light bait. So for shadow. For dark heroes, it's like ML Ken, D Corvus, some of these like really annoying ones that you want to kind of like bait away. You can definitely do it. So anyways, we're gonna take a look at my F Maya gear. Oh yeah, Purgus too. Purgus, yeah, Aline is reminding me. Purgus is also really good light bait. If you build Purgus with really high HP and speed, like kind of like Crow, so like 20k HP, aim for like, you know, 1k to 12k defense. Sorry, 12k? Yeah, 1.2k rather, not 12k. 1.2k defense, and you know, like 170 plus speed, and G Purgus becomes like one of the best dark baits as well. Anyways, I kind of find it right now at the moment, except that with the ML Says release, ML Araminta and ML Sage, Baal and Cezanne. Before, it seemed that dark was predominantly like the higher damage dealers, with a few exceptions, but now like light is kind of catching up. Anyways, that's my finding at least. Anyways, this is my gear for F Maya. So these are her stats right now going into it. 1500 defense. Oh, I thought it was 1400 actually. Oh right, I think right, I also max leveled that Aureus there for more HP. She was at 17,800 HP like about 2 weeks ago or something. I'm kind of like upgrading her armor and her headpiece right now. I never really took those seriously. Basically, the weapon and ring, necklace, and the boot, they were all hand-me-downs from Crow. Very early build of Crow when I wasn't even using him for PvP. He wasn't geared as such. He had like no speed. As you can see right now, F Maya speed is at 100. She's super slow, but it doesn't really matter if she's slow. If you use her the way I've kind of used her, her effectiveness could be a bit higher, but I don't really think it's needed. I would say if you are building F Maya, just build her for like pure tank. You know, like I would say aim for 20,000 health. It shouldn't be too hard on her, and at least 1300 defense. That would be, I would say, minimal. The attack, it really comes from just, you know, a few substats, but basically from your weapons, like main source of attack. I think she has about like 900 attack at base or something, so you can see that that's not really much of an improvement. The attack is somewhat nice for mainly her S3. As you guys saw, I kind of showcased her S3. If you do have, if the enemy is at less than 30% 300% health, you do 300% damage, so 3 times more damage than you would usually do. Of course, if you somehow can get a stretch of some crit chance and some crit damage, that'd be nice. So I've done today, this morning actually, I think it was against the team, one of the teams I fought. I did a 40,000 damage, critical hit damage, on a defense broken unit, which is really cool, with her S3 of course. I think it was on Dark Corvus, which is really cool. It's cool to see her do that, and obviously that's way overkill. No one has 40,000 HP, but it's somewhat good. You can use her for like even wyvern hunts. The reason is because every time he hits you, he does cleanse your defense debuff, but you do proc it still, right? You do proc it. So for the next hit, there's a defense buff in it. And the thing is, because you know, she's still pretty tanky. Her base stats are like close to Krau's, which isn't bad at all. You can use her in many areas. The only place I think she kind of falls flat is kind of like her kit doesn't do much except like her passive is basically the strongest point. Her S1 is a very, very weak provoke. You would never invest in the S1 if you're building her, unless you just like absolutely love her. But of course, you know, to each their own. There's no increase in the provoke. That's why I'm not thinking that's worth investing. So Krau and like C Armin, for example, they have a 75% chance. I think General Purgus also has a 75% chance to provoke if you max, or if you enhance it up to the point where you can get up to 75%. 75% is very annoying to deal with. If you do deal with like C Armins and Kraus and General Purgus with 75% provokes, you know how much that provokes. It's really annoying. But 50%, it's really hit and miss. Like not only do I have low effectiveness on my build, but the 50% chance it doesn't do it much. So you don't want to enhance that at all. Last week when I did a run of this FMI review, I kind of canceled it because I did a lot of failed arena attempts. I chose team comps that weren't really showcasing her talents. Last week I actually had her sitting at default. So at default it's 80% chance to dispel one debuff and then also grant the increased defense. Now they are separate rules, so sometimes you can, you know, proc the defense buff, but you don't proc the dispel. Sometimes you can proc the dispel, but you don't proc the defense buff. So it's kind of interesting. So I in a rage fit, while I was doing an arena and I couldn't get her to proc when I really needed it to, I slammed down a couple molas to get it to 90%. Once you get it to 100%, obviously it makes her like there's really no room for error if you can calculate what the other team does. But at this point I don't want to go to 100%. I think 90% is good. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully. Sorry, I'm reading the stream chat here. And then like I said, the S3 is kind of nice. The increased damage dealt is not really needed if you're doing it for PvP. Generally by the time they're at 30% or less health, even if it's like a 20,000, 22,000 HP hero, you will still be able to one-shot them at my current attack. And I'm not even talking about a critical hit, just a regular attack. You saw how much damage I did with C Armin kind of taking it with Aureus. I did almost 10,000 damage, I think, and C Armin taking about 2,000 damage. Now, when they're already at 30%, they're not gonna have like 10,000 damage in the bank, right? So that's unless they have like over 30,000 HP, which at this point in the meta, that's not really possible. So soul burning her S3 is not really good, not really needed, even though it only costs 10 souls. Reducing the cooldown is definitely not needed if you are building F Maya with low speed like myself. If you do have higher speed, I would say maybe it's worth it, because sometimes, you know, a healer, you know, she might get, you know, might be right in front of a healer. Let's say like Shooting Star Akades, and on the next turn, you know that maybe she can, you know, put up an immortal on herself, and you really want to take her out. So having an S3 there is really awesome. If you're facing, you know, another team with like multiple instances where healers are just really clutch, then maybe reducing the turn cooldown is good. But again, that does depend if you have fast speed. If you don't have fast speed, don't even bother doing it. So again, it's very simple here. I just complete a defense set with health. Health is not even the best, as you can see. It's not all 85. Eventually, I think I will swap her to 85 gear. Just getting those like extra, like if it's 85 ring, 85 boot, extra 20% health there, that's gonna go a long way in making her even more tanky. If you can get her up to 20,000, over 20,000 health, it's out of one shot range. So even Watcher Scurry has a hard time bursting her down. But if you put her on a defense team, Watcher Scurry can soul burn. It's a bit different. ML says it's not a real big problem for her either. Because most of the time, unless you stack a ton of debuffs, because keep in mind, every time she's hit once, she dispels one debuff. Unless you can stack a ton of debuffs on her, ML says it's not going to really get a setup where she can actually remain stunned. She more likely than not, she'll remove the stun before ML says can go. So again, that removes that. One of her weaknesses is like, soft locks, so soft provokes and soft defense breaks. So like F Clury, for example. F Clury is really good at taking down F Maya. If you run into F Maya on a defense team, you shouldn't be too afraid of F Maya specifically. You might be afraid of the heroes that are around her, but you shouldn't be too afraid of her. As you saw actually in my arena, I actually took down one guy. I think he had an F Maya on his team, and he left it on his defense team. I'm going to show you guys. It was in my revenge history. He ran C Armin and F Maya, and because, I know F Maya's weaknesses, I kind of took it for, took advantage of it. I think it was in here. Pretty sure it was. If it wasn't, then never mind. I must have saw wrong. No, never mind. Seems that I'm wrong. Basically, yesterday I took it down C Armin with F Maya team, and yes, that's like Provoke City right there. But it wasn't too difficult because again, if you can sustain the match, as long as you don't allow your heroes to go under 30%, the AI F Maya won't use their S3 whatsoever. One thing to note though is that if any one of your heroes are less than 30%, if you're fighting F Maya on a defense team, the AI will go after that hero no matter what element, even if it's an elemental disadvantage. Even if it's elemental disadvantage, which actually she doesn't have any disadvantages, but I'm saying like you can't just bait her. Let's say you put an A cart, you can't just keep baiting her. Yes, her S1 will always bait to a dark hero, but let's say like a ice hero is under 30%, she'll jump and she'll just take them out. So just be careful of that aspect if you are facing her in the defense team. But if you do own her, I definitely don't recommend running her in the defense team. Like I said, F Clury's S3 is really annoying for her, because that F Clury's S3, there's no elemental advantage or weakness, because if you're using Clury, it doesn't miss. Right? It doesn't miss because it's not an attack. So even with 8 cards passive, it doesn't miss. So if you are facing, let's say, F Maya on a defense team, you're gonna use F Clury S3, so she won't dispel it. She won't put up her own defense buff, and you can just nuke her out straight away. Like once she has a defense break on, it doesn't matter how much HP. I mean, it doesn't matter how much HP or defense you have. You can nuke her out with any single target nuker. I'm pretty sure like Luna would work. Of course, Surmia would work. Surmia is also really good on F Maya because Surmia already cuts 50% of the defense, so she has her own kind of defense break, ignore defense, on her S3. So Surmia is also a really good counter to Maya. So by all means, F Maya is not a perfect hero whatsoever, but she's pretty good. Now a lot of people do kind of run her with Elbrus Ritual Sword. I myself, I don't really like that. Again, the way I'm using F Maya, she's usually the one to be attacked. Now, outside of like maybe let's say I'm taking out ML Ken teams, maybe he does his S3. I want to prevent like some cleave damage, so I put on Aureus on her. I think honestly, if you're using her the way I use her in the kind of bait tactic, Aureus is probably the best on her because no one else is gonna get hit. You wouldn't put on Hill like Lance because most of the time the rest of your heroes aren't gonna get hit. You wouldn't put on Elberus Ritual Sword because, again, most of the times the rest of your heroes can't get hit. And even what if you even do proc Elberus, you get a 50% chance to provoke. That's not going to really do much, and her attack is so low. So in my opinion, I think Aureus is really good. Maybe Adamant Shield might be okay, but I myself, I kind of like the Aureus, just in case. It's a more general kind of artifact, I think, for her. I think it works better that way. And again, because she doesn't really die too quick, as long as you have like a healer that can focus on her, most of the time you won't suffer. I've hardly ever needed to run 2 healers with F Maya. So like if you put on, let's say, like Egg of Delusion and Voice Pipe on her, is Noble Oath, it doesn't really matter. She's not gonna really take too much damage. It's a kind of a nice to have maybe, but in my opinion, like the way I use her, again, I think Aureus is kind of like the one I would never remove, just because there's just some cleave comp. So like even ML Araminta teams, if I take them on and I put in F Maya, it would be good just to soak some of that damage away, right? Kind of roll compress, so I don't have to bring another Aureus user. I know at PMA, so one of my friends, he builds F Maya with counter set. Counter set's kind of interesting as well, just because, again, if you are baiting everyone to hit her, 20% chance to proc that counter might be a really nice to have. I've seen PMA's F Maya, and the PMA with counter set, I think he has higher HP and like almost as high defense as mine, and he has better speed and better effectiveness and better effect resistance. So overall, his build is way better than mine. Like I said, mine is a hand-me-down, but that gives me no excuse. In my opinion, I kind of wanted her to just be a cheap bait hero, a cheap in terms of investment. That's why I gave her hand-me-downs. But of course, my rage, in arena, because it doesn't proc, I had to molar her. Otherwise, she was totally uninvested, and I felt good about it, and she still performed really well. A benefit of I would say her being on your team, again, is that if people have multiple debuffs, by the time like ML Araminta goes, because there's so many hits to set up, there's like Gerardo, there's ML Araminta, now like people are running like Sage, Baal, and Cezanne. There's multiple hits, so generally by the time their whole round is over, she's completely clean, as in no debuffs are stuck on her. Maybe there's one burn on her, but that's it. As you can see, again, my effect resistance is not that high. And another thing I really love about her is her imprint. And the reason why, again, I placed her above is because I wanted the 2 slots on the bottom and the left to be open. As you can see, if I can get an SSS, it's a 15% effect resist. Of course, that's only 2 slots, but that's really good. You can see, of course, Angelica's is all squares, but 12%. Right, so you imagine like Angelica with F Maya on there. That's a lot. If you can get multiple imprints, that's a lot of effect resistance. One of the things that's been kind of working for me, and again, this is not a DN showcase, but I'm just gonna really show it. You guys will see me run my DN on a bottom slot a lot because my effect resistance is pretty high. So it's been helping me take on like tank a whole turn with like ML Araminta teams and Sage, Baal, and Cezanne teams, because sometimes I get lucky, maybe like 1 or 2 debuffs get stuck on DN. Sometimes it's not the stun, so it's really good. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for my my thoughts on Maya here. I'm gonna catch up on PMA. Hey man, PMA is on stream here. He says use Holy Sacrifice for emergency. Holy Sacrifice is not a bad option too. I would say if out of all the ones that we kind of have, I would say Holy Sacrifice, but you have to have it at higher level though. PMA, it might be okay. It might be okay for her. Holy Sacrifice gives you 25% of your HP back or something like that. Which if you have her with higher HP, that could be another turn or 2. Which is pretty good. Hold on, let me see here. Yeah, so 25% chance, 25% health. So that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. Yeah, it's a pretty good one, but I would definitely recommend you going at like at least 100% proc rate before even using it. You don't want that. I don't know. I've never actually needed Holy Sacrifice myself. I don't know. But that's just myself. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end that there. So I'm gonna see here. So some people are giving me some thoughts. Yeah, so Drew Bolt is saying that Ori is not good. Use Noble Oath. No, you don't need it, man. You don't need it. So I mean, keep in mind that Aureus not only does take the damage, but increase the defense of all allies by 10%, right? So I mean, yeah, I kind of like the all-round, you know, all-round kind of buff with Aureus. That's my own thoughts on it, at least. PMA says 75% chance to proc on plus 15. Yeah, I know, that's still too low to me, to be honest. You know, but obviously I know PMA, the way you're using F Maya, you're not like banking on Holy Sacrifice. It's really just the, you know, just the in case something bad happens. I get it. I've lost my F Maya like maybe 1 or 2 times as like the first to go, generally because my S2 doesn't proc. But ultimately she's usually the last one to stay alive in like most of my fights. So I'm not quite sure. All right, so let me go and maybe we'll do one more arena here just to finish off this showcase. You guys kind of see kind of how our user, again, very good AI bait. So until we get like real time arena, you know, she'll be good for a long time. This one is a bit difficult. Charles in that team is really annoying. I would pretty much have to let me move on to one that I don't need to think too much about. Let's see. And again, featuring F Maya here, so I don't want to swap Sage, Baal, and Cezanne. Yeah, because of the healer, that's kind of annoying. Brazen 1. Okay, Brazen 1 will work. Brazen 1 will kind of work. So I'm gonna use Biken on this one again. Yeah, we shouldn't have a problem with Biken here. And to be honest, I mean, to play it safe, I shouldn't even be using Luna. But I'm gonna keep Luna. So basically, again, if Brazen does go, actually, I'm attacking lower point guy. Well, I'll do it. I'll do it for the showcase. If Akar goes first, that's good. If you know, Crowd goes first, it's still fine, because after he does his first hit, I'll heal up my ice heroes. So all the damage will be funneled to F Maya.
Let's advance together.
So let's see, DN goes first, and then CRM, and then Akar. So perfect. That's the rotation I want.
You pitiful beings. Death is your repentance.
Oh, PMA has a good point. He says in GBG, I was happy not to lose my Maya for the other fights because of the revive. Yeah, that's true too.
Trust me.
Aline says Soul nukes that team. Oh, the previous one with Charles, or which one? So there you go, proc. We didn't get a stun on that, so I was lucky. So now because she has the lowest HP, you can see how much HP did he do. I think I can heal right now, but we should be fine. Akart's S3 is actually the highest damage anyway. I'm gonna hit Akart because he's the one available right now that I want to hit. Otherwise, I would want to take out DN first.
Dragon Twilight.
There's a miss on that one.
Please save us.
And DN has a ton of buffs, which I'm not quite sure if I want to use Biken's. I'm gonna save Biken's skills a bit. Okay, DN will have 2 turns to heal here.
This is what the goddess wills.
Oh, with Kaon and Charles? If I can nuke out Kayron, that'd be good. But I don't think my Soul Bad guy at level 50 can do it.
Don't be scared.
She has a heal one more time. I'm gonna try to take her out here. Just want her immunity to go away before I actually start doing damage.
Give me
So you can
strength.
see stalling that. I'll wait one more turn. Immune, of course. Let's see how good his effect resistance is. Soul with Yubiri's Tooth kills Keiron, no immortality.
I will
Then
guide you
Charles
through the
uses
light.
easy mode for him. If he counters Soul Bad Guy though, it's still not a good thing. So I'm gonna not heal on that turn, because if F Maya has the highest HP or has full HP, Crow will go after someone else.
My goddess, grant me the power to extinguish the
If
evil.
Charles has Elbrus and he doesn't miss, it would be pretty bad. It would be pretty bad in my opinion.
Fear of Laguna.
Oh, actually, I shouldn't have used her S3 on this one because she has the barrier coming up. She's gonna cleanse. Hopefully, I could provoke with F Maya. Again, a 50% chance to provoke here. We did it! Perfect. We did it. Okay, that's enough to kill her. So
I believe
we should be
this is
good.
what
Now I'll put up the
goddess
attack
wills.
buff.
You pitiful beings. Death is your repentance.
Probably don't even need the S3 to be honest, or S2 rather. But why not? I'll take out Sea Armin right now. So I don't know what Crow has. Maybe Holy Sacrifice. I didn't notice it when we started the match
advance together.
because he definitely doesn't have Aureus, and unless he has a really low Ritual Sword, pretty sure he has Holy Sacrifice. But F Maya at my HP generally should be able to tank Crow, even if they have over 20,000 HP. So another thing is, of course, Crow's damage multipliers does have actual attack damage as a 0.3 times attack damage mod. So that means defense buffs can actually reduce the damage, or non-elemental advantage, or elemental weakness rather. So he can do more damage on his S3 against fire. He can do less damage on earth.
This is what the goddess wills.
Do you believe in me? Back up.
Oh man, this guy's lucky.
I will guide you through the light.
Because the multiple turns on Baiken here,
Grant me the power to extinguish
obviously,
the
you know, she loses her attack buff quicker than anyone else. Did I hit? Let's just kill him off. Maybe I can do a pure kill on Crow with Baiken only. So I kinda gotta heal my DN's HP back.
Please.
Otherwise, Crow will S3 her. And again, the Aureus could be nice. The Aureus on the F Maya could be nice in this instance too.
Ridiculous.
It can take a bit of damage.
I believe this is what the
So here comes
goddess
Crow. He'll do his S3 now.
Victory is right in front of us.
I might be able to oh yeah, if it's on F Maya, 100% survive. Okay, so let's do this. Soul burned. Yep,
I will guide you through the light.
he came back.
Don't be scared.
It's okay, it's over.
Burning hatred. A desire for revenge.
I trust the path laid before us.
He did his S3 too early. Otherwise, I think the revived one might have killed me. Maybe. Anyways, that's the end of this. That's my kind of like review for F Maya. So yeah, again, if you have her, if you pulled her, you know, lucky you. Definitely build her up. She's pretty easy to build. Run a couple golem, you know, get a couple of these like main stats. Don't even care about the substats. The substats are a luxury, to be honest. Like look at these substats. They're like pure crap, right? It's a luxury. Complete the sets. I would just go health, defense, HP stat, defense stat if you want it, but definitely recommend having some HP, because again, keep in mind that the defense buff with your actual defense, and that she can hardly get breaks, like defense breaks on her, means that scaling defense pretty high is important. But where I am right now, where I can improve would be increase the health. That's it. That's all I'm going to be looking for if I'm going to be like, giving her some of these hand-me-downs in the future. Maybe lower the defense to 1400. I think that's fair enough, but at least over 20,000 HP. That would be really good. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it, and I'm going to end that there. So if you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.